Mobile apps are no longer a luxury. They are essential for growth, digital strategy, and long-term user engagement. But yet, despite how common mobile apps have become, one simple question still confuses startups and big companies alike. How much does it actually cost to develop a mobile app? If you're a CEO, CTO, or product owner, you probably found yourself lost between online calculators and blogs that don't really give you fair pricing, or maybe even sales calls that never really give you the full picture. The truth is, mobile app pricing in 2025 can be complex, but it doesn't have to be a black box. This guide is designed to walk you through all the variables that go into app development costs, to help you make smarter budgeting decisions, but also to introduce strategies and frameworks used by real experts. By the end, you should be able to create a rough but informed estimate about your own app, or at least ask the right question to your development team or agency. Let's dig in. Search engines can offer ballpark figures, but they can't really account for your product's unique vision. Your tech stack, features, long-term goals, and even launch region impact total cost because real estimates need real context. Pricing calculators can be a good place to start, but they tend to oversimplify things. For example, checking a box for chat functionality won't really capture the difference between a static message and a real-time encrypted chat system with read receipts and offline support. The bottom line, the more details you provide early on, the more accurate your cost estimation will be. We'll help you break down the components of app pricing and guide you through scope-based estimation. We'll also show how decisions about platform features, design, and post-launch support can dramatically shift your budget, for better or for worse. So here's a really quick and simple exercise to get started. Write down the top 3 features your app must include at launch. Next to each, list whether they require real-time data, user login or authentication, and integration with another system, such as Stripe or Salesforce, for example. This simple inventory is a starting point of your scope and budget. Keep the questions handy, since they will be answered along the way throughout this guide. To help you frame your expectations, here's a simple breakdown of what can typically be achieved at 3 different investment levels. $25,000, a lean MVP. You can think of this as a limited prototype or internal use app. Single platform only, has minimal backend logic and a templated user interface. It's usually focused on proving if a product is a good fit for the market or for testing a business hypothesis. At $100,000, you can think of a scalable version 1, which is designed for external launch, and these apps include real-time features, custom UI, multi-platform deployment, and integration with third-party tools like analytics or payments. They can also handle higher user traffic and offer room for scalability. Next, at $250,000 or higher, you can think of this as an enterprise app, which is a complex app for regulated industries or consumer-grade experience at scale. They may include machine learning, offline functionality, role-based access controls, robust security protocols, and even in-house CMS or dashboards. So reflect on these questions. Based on your feature set and timelines, which tier feels more realistic based on your app today? Which tier would be an ideal fit for the long term, for example? Your choice of platform plays a critical role in cost. Native apps are written separately for iOS using Swift or Android using Kotlin, which offer optimal performance and better OS integration, but they also double your development time. Cross-platform solutions like Ionic, React Native, and Flutter allow developers to build one shared codebase for both platforms, reducing the time needed to launch as well as costs significantly. Based on this information, ask yourself, will your app require access to device hardware like cameras or sensors? Will it need to work offline? These questions are clues about whether native access may be necessary. Now, what about feature complexity? You can think of app features in 3 different buckets: low complexity, medium complexity, and high complexity. At the low complexity, we can expect things like static screens, content display, basic forms, and as well as contact forms. For medium complexity, you can expect user authentication, push notifications, search filters, and payment gateway integration. Finally, at the highest tier, you can expect video and audio streaming, real-time chat, AI features, role-based dashboard, and offline data sync. Each added layer not only adds development hours, but also increases the QA, UX, and UI planning, as well as back-end infrastructure requirements. Design is often underestimated. UX and UI design in 2025 involves responsive layouts and accessibility compliance that can scale across multiple platforms. Strong design is not just aesthetic, it's critical to usability and brand perception. So with this in mind, you can expect to allocate between 15 to 30% of your total budget to UX and UI. A good design process often includes persona development, user flows, wireframes, interactive prototypes, and user testing. Two things that are non-negotiable and you should never skimp on are security and QA, especially if your app requires access to personal identifiable information or even healthcare information. For this, automated testing and multi-device testing are standard in robust app builds. Did you know apps with strong QA pipelines experience 50% to 80% fewer product bugs, saving tens of thousands of dollars in post-launch firefighting costs? So how do you start? You can start with the lean MVP strategy. Trying to build every feature into your version 1 is a very common mistake. We all make it. A lean MVP, on the other hand, can let you launch sooner, validate market fit, minimize risk, and focus resources on features that actually matter. You can start strategizing by using a method like Moscow, must have, should have, could have, won't have, to prioritize features. Let's say you're building a fitness tracking app for beginner runners. Here's how you might break features down using the Moscow method. You must have user sign up and login with email or Google, daily step count and GPS run tracking, view past runs and calories burned, basic settings for units and notifications. Ideally, you should have social sharing of completed runs, in-app goal setting and progress tracker, integration with Apple Health or Google Fit. Now, as far as could have, you can think about voice coaching during runs, challenges between friends, or custom workout plan generator. And of course, won't have, at least not for now, wearable device syncing, such as with Apple Watch, AI-based coaching recommendations, and nutrition tracking with meal logging. By using this framework, you can stay focused on what's critical for version 1, but you can still leave room for brainstorming ideas for future iterations. What about choosing the right tech stack? Using a modern tech stack that features modularity and scalability helps avoid technical debt. We personally recommend the following. For front-end, Ionic, React Native, and Flutter. For the back-end, Firebase, Node.js plus Express, Hasura, and AWS Lambda. For databases, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, and Firebase Firestore. If you're not a tech person, don't worry. Think of your tech stack like the foundation and framing of a house. If you use modern, well-supported materials like steel beams and good insulation, it's easier to renovate or fix things eventually later on without having to tear the whole house apart. But if you build with outdated materials or custom fabricated parts, it's going to be difficult and it's going to be a very high cost burden to fix them. So you'll pay more in the long run for every little change. A good tech stack lets developers adapt new features or plug in things without having to start from scratch. It's the difference between a custom home with a blueprint and a DIY shack that collapses when the wind changes. It's always good to involve a tech person during the process to make sure you have some of the knowledge backing you up. Pro tip: Tools like Supabase and Firebase can dramatically reduce backend setup time, making them great for MVPs. How you collaborate with your app development team is just as important as what you want to build. So be proactive. Set up yourself for success by assigning a single product owner internally. Commit to regular sprint reviews, and prioritize feedback and decision-making agility. Now, beyond just the development, there are certain costs that you always need to be aware of. Hosting and cloud infrastructure. This can run you anywhere from $500 to $5,000 per month, depending on usage. Third-party tools like Stripe, Twilio, Firebase, Google Maps, each one of which has its own tiered pricing. App Store optimization, otherwise known as ASO, to compete in a crowded ARB marketplace. And of course, analytics and CRM, tools like Mixpanel, Segment, or HubSpot. Here's a simple breakdown of what this looks like in action. Development is usually a one-time cost. In terms of hosting and infrastructure, we have a recurring cost, which typically tend to be monthly. In terms of maintenance, that also tends to be monthly or annually. Any design updates can be a one-time cost, but you should also consider a recurring cost, such as minor tweaks. And of course, marketing ASO. You can incorporate a one-time cost as well as recurring costs, which can be campaign-based. Now that you have some insight, how about running a quick exercise, which is a realistic estimation? To plan effectively, break your budget into 3 distinct phases. Number 1, build, which will be about 60 to 70% of your cost. This is the main development phase where the app is scoped, designed, developed, and tested, and made ready for launch. It includes discovery sessions and planning workshops, UX and UI design, front-end and back-end development, QA testing, App Store submission and deployment, as well as project management. Pro tip, avoid overspending here by focusing on an MVP scope. Keep nice-to-have features on a roadmap, which you can eventually tackle later on. Number 2, launch. Expect anywhere from 10 to 20%. These are your go-to market costs. Many teams underestimate how much it takes to convert early adopters because you have to consider App Store optimization, landing page creation, app preview, videos and screenshots are always helpful, PR, influencer outreach, or any paid ads, onboarding campaigns, or even tutorial content, and of course, beta testing feedback loops. A word of warning, launching without marketing support is like throwing a party and forgetting to invite everyone. No one will come to your lavish party if they don't know about it. Number 3, after launch, your app enters the growth phase, which you can expect anywhere from 15 to 25%, which is what we know as the scaling stage. Costs here are often ongoing and tied to performance, feature expansion, and user retention. For example, feature iteration based on user feedback, bug fixes and OS compatibility updates, analytics and dashboards, hosting and cloud services, support tickets or moderation, growth campaigns, A/B testing, and push notifications. A very, very smart move is to budget at least 12 months of post-launch runway so you can learn, improve, and scale with confidence. You can use a chart like this one to fill in the blanks based on your own app goals and timeline. It's said that post-launch is where the real work begins because launching is just the midpoint. You'll need ongoing iteration, feature requests, bug fixes, OS version compatibility updates, and of course, a lot of marketing to acquire and retain users. Allocate the recommended 15 to 25% numbers previously mentioned annually for maintenance and evolution. Here's another pro tip. Treat your app like a product, not a project. Great apps are never really done. The type of development partner you choose will impact not only the cost and time to market, but also the overall quality of the product. Typically, we have freelancers, agencies, and in-house team as the options, so you can use the following chart to look at a breakdown of each one of them. Each of these options has pros and cons. though agencies tend to have more pros and cons. But first, let's take a look at freelancers. They're typically the most cost-effective and flexible option, making them ideal for small projects or early-stage MVPs. They are also viable options for teams with tight budgets. They can excel when the scope is well-defined and limited to dev work. However, freelancers often lack a wide range of skills required for more complex tasks, such as product strategy or UX and UI design, QA testing, and post-launch support, making them a risky choice for long-term or enterprise-grade builds. On the other hand, agencies provide a full service, often including strategy, design, development, quality assurance, and of course, marketing support. This makes them a strong choice for teams without in-house product or engineering capacity. While agencies do come at a higher hourly rate than freelancers, their structure, cross-functional collaboration, and process maturity can reduce time to market and help avoid costly mistakes. They're best suited for organizations seeking end-to-end support with defined milestones because as organizations grow, so does the agency. So it's in their best interest to provide the best quality of work possible. Finally, in-house teams, which offer the highest level of control and alignment with company goals. This makes them ideal for established companies with ongoing development needs and the resources to invest in long-term product growth. However, hiring, onboarding, managing, and retaining a team can be extremely expensive and slow, even for organizations with large budgets. The upfront costs and time commitment are significant, so this path is usually best for organizations planning to maintain and evolve a product internally over many, many years. So you're probably wondering, how do you evaluate which one is right for you? You can make a checklist of these questions and keep it handy when meeting with your dev team. What's their process from discovery to launch? Do they support cross-platform and modern stacks? Can they show examples of successful launches? How do they handle QA and maintenance? And are they a certified partner, such as an Ionic Trusted Partner? In the end, custom maps always win. Custom maps gives you complete control over your product, how it looks, and how it behaves. They're designed to align directly with your business goals and long-term strategy, and a custom build ensures that your product can actually fit like a glove and not just be another off-the-shelf workaround. Now, there are many drag-and-drop tools out there, which can be either low-code or even no-code, such as Glide, Adalo, or Bubble, and they can be very helpful for prototyping and MVP, but they also come with some limitations. You're constrained by the feature set, performance ceiling, integration options, and update schedules. In some cases, very extreme, but that are commonplace, are vendor lock-ins, meaning that migrating your data or app elsewhere in the future could be very expensive or even impossible. These tools are great for testing ideas or for internal use, but you might want to go with a custom app if you really want to make it scale and more successful. The reason? Because custom app development enables full integration with the system that you already use. It's optimized for your specific audience, and you have flexibility to pivot or evolve without having to start over. Most importantly, you own the code, so you also own the logic and the long-term value behind it. So let's do a little validation exercise. Is custom development right for you? Answer the following questions. Will your app need to serve thousands or millions of users eventually? Will you need to connect to external services like CRMs, payment processors, or proprietary databases? Is the user experience part of your competitive advantage? Do you plan to build new features or evolve your product post-launch? Is data privacy compliance such as HIPAA or GDPR or security a critical factor? If you answered yes to 3 or more of these questions, your answer is you most likely will need a custom app. In short, custom apps are about building something that can grow, last, and adapt, not just about building something from scratch. They're an investment, and as with any investment, there's a long-term ROI, scalability, but overall control. If you're ready to start estimating your own app, or you need help defining your MVP scope, reach out to us at OpenForge. We'll walk you through a complimentary discovery session and create a proposal built on your goals. No fluff, no jargon, just clarity. You can book your discovery session with us by clicking on the link in the description of this video below. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.